design has become a huge trend in South Florida living. If you're thinking about building modern, there are a few things you want to consider.
Hi, I'm Jessica Easterling. This is Terry Patterson. We are partners in Patterson Project Management, and we are experts in modern home building in South Florida.
There's many misconceptions about contemporary home building. A lot of people think that it's easier because of the clean lines and simplicity of it. But in reality, that simplicity is very complicated.
We get expert advice as well as some top tips and trends on going modern on today's SoFlo Home Project. Welcome to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra. In South Florida, we have many different types of architectural styles for the homes that you'll see in our communities. But one that's become increasingly popular in new construction is the modern home. But don't let the clean lines fool you. A lot of details go into creating these contemporary masterpieces. Today, we get expert advice on when to remodel and when to build new, installing flooring with a seamless look, elements to consider for modern outdoor spaces, and so much more. Terry and Jessica, welcome to SoFlo Home Project.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Great to meet you.
So I feel like when you are building a contemporary home, there's a lot of things that are different. For years, we've seen, Spanish-style Mediterranean architecture and all the other types of things that are in South Florida, but we see so many of these contemporary, beautiful homes. And there are certain things that make them contemporary but warm at the same time. It's that combination of materials.
Absolutely.
So of course, every home, the entryway is one of the most important things, that curb appeal when you pull up to the house and seeing this beautiful detailing. So behind me, there's a peek of a water feature. We've got some moss. What was done here? It's a gorgeous entryway.
Yeah, well, when you're talking about new modern homes, you want to find unique, interesting things to do that makes it stand out and not be like every other house you see on the block. So all new modern homes are going to have the big pivot entry doors,
Yes.
really tall, and then opening generally to a beautiful open entryway.
So it's all about really, like you mentioned, finding those new things. Like
Yes.
we think contemporary, obviously clean lines. We think a lot of, lighter colors, maybe a wood accent, but going above and beyond that to really make it unique.
Taking risks. Some people think contemporary is cold, but it's not. It's you mix a lot of warm woods in with stark materials.
In contemporary builds, the staircase is really that feature, I think. They're usually more open. Sometimes they're floating. Sometimes there's a lot of glass and other materials. This is really stunning, and I love the wood tonality. And you said wood porcelain.
Yes.
You definitely want them wrapped all the way around. You want them floating, and I'd say we always do a frameless glass railing so you can really see the stairs all the way around.
So that's one of those key things. And when you walk in, the stairs being situated right here, they're just as important as anything that goes into the main entry from the furnishings and all the other supporting materials.
That's correct.
Absolutely, yep.
Now, as I'm looking around, there's another thing that I'm seeing, and that is no baseboards. So we see some detailing done with the drywall.
Correct. It's no wood traditional baseboards. It's riglets that we have pre-powder coated so that they match whatever windows and doors or the color scheme of the house. Also, powder coating is a very strong material as opposed to having a painter paint them. Then you have to install it on the drywall right up against the edge of the tile. So when you install the tile, you have to bring it right up to the interior framing, which is not normal.
It's more work. Everything has to be perfect. Perfect lines, perfectly clean. There's no room for error in a modern house.
If you don't start with a perfect structure and perfect framing, you're in trouble with a contemporary house.
The doors, everything feels much higher, right? Larger doors. Is that something that you're seeing definitely being things that clients are requesting?
Absolutely, absolutely. A newer trend is definitely taller everything, from shower glass in the bathrooms to all of the interior doors now, 9 feet. And even sometimes we can make cladding in different materials to make other heights look higher. So the illusion of higher, even if you can't get what you're looking for.
So that's how we kind of trick the eye and make
Absolutely.
everything look very grand and spacious.
We can do glass as tall as 12 feet and up to 5 to even 6 feet wide in panels. That's massive. 10 years ago, we couldn't do that. We had to have lots of small panels and piece them together.
So this gives that really open, seamless look. And what's nice is there's a lot of glass, but it balances out with a lot of warm details like you've mentioned earlier, like the wood. So here, an elevator. Another thing, is that something that in a lot of the homes that you build, the elevator is sort of another kind of must-have or something that's going into homes of a certain square footage?
Absolutely it is. It's become, I would say, in about 90% of luxury homes down in South Florida now are going to have an elevator in them at this point.
Well, we've got a great entryway here. We've got a lot of ceiling height, beautiful details, but there's a lot more house to tour, and we are going to continue doing that when we come back. Coming up, we inspire you with modern kitchen design ideas on SoFlo Home Project.
Hey, Mike Martinez from USA Windows and Doors here. So you hear about energy efficient windows? Well, we're going to show you in this segment how we measure and how we show you the benefits for energy efficient windows. Coming up next in SoFlo Home Project.
Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing to talk about all things contemporary homes when building new with Terry and Jessica from Patterson Project Management. So from the general contractor's perspective, you guys, we are getting an inside look at what it really takes to get that modern styling, but still keep a home warm and beautiful as well as it is here. So now we're in the kitchen. Kitchen is the heart of the home, one of the most important parts when designing a new home. What are some of the key things that you feel are in here, or just in general in a lot of the homes that you build, that people are wanting for that modern aesthetic?
We like to do clean lines in the kitchen as well, just as the same theme through the rest of the house. We also don't like to have door handles. All of this is push-pull.
No hardware
No
here.
hardware.
Clean.
Including the refrigerator and freezer. You push, opens up, automatically closes.
So no handles on anything, and I'm assuming right here is our fridge freezer.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Look at that. So nice. And I think this kind of look, I mean, I love it when you kind of can't really tell what's what. I only know this because it's about 30 inches wide or so, and I'm thinking it's the fridge or freezer. But I love that everything is sort of concealed. And often, and when you're doing this type of kitchen, do you find you're adding a lot of that butler's pantry or messy kitchen in addition
Of
to
course,
the main?
of course. I think most people don't live this clean and perfect all of the time. I know I don't. So yeah, definitely a separate kitchen completely. A prep kitchen or a butler's pantry is very popular.
And I think that we talk about warmth and sort of mixing materials. This sort of keeps that going. I love that there's that touch of the brass. I mean, sometimes you see that on the burners or on sometimes a lot of the knobs as well, that mixed metal. So what a great way to continue that on through the kitchen. So when it comes to appliances, I feel like in a modern styling, not only is the handle style and the type of appliance you're picking important, but the hood itself has to still have that look.
Yes.
And is this a popular style you use?
This is one of them. The nice thing about this one is it's a push up and down, so you can bring it down closer to the cooktop surface, and you can push a button and it moves up out of your way.
So I love when you have that opportunity to make a countertop really pop, not only with the stone itself, but the lighting. And we are gonna share what that looks like lit up, but before we do that, let's check in with Mike Martinez from USA Windows and Doors and see what great advice he has for us today.
Hey, Mike Martinez from USA Windows and Doors. We're here in sunny South Florida in a townhome community where this customer wanted to find out how they can make their house more energy efficient. We've got a special tool we use for your in-home consultation. It's going to show you how inefficient your window is today and how efficient we can make it for the future. So this tool is pretty easy to use. What we're going to do is we're going to capture the window, and it's got all the readings we need for UV, visibility, and heat. In this particular case, we've got about 90% UV. Now in UV, the way it affects things so dramatically and so desperately is it fades your furniture, fades your carpeting, your flooring, your wood flooring. things of that nature get affected because of UV. With regards to visibility and visible light, it's about how much sunlight comes in your home. As far as infrared and radiant heat, there's two forms of heat that enter your home. It's what makes your energy efficiency go away. It's why your electric bill goes up. What we want to do is take a look at how much radiant and how much infrared heat is coming in your home. In this case, quite a bit. In fact, on radiant heat, it's 100%. This window is east facing, the sun is hitting it directly. It's getting a lot of heat in the house. Their energy bill, their electric bill is pretty high. So here, we're outside the townhome where we just took a look at the windows inside. This is the glass we're gonna be putting in this house. We use the same measurement tool. We hold the measurement, and now you can see there's no UV light coming in at all. While the visibility is still quite high, and now we're controlling the heat that's coming in. The air conditioning is not fighting the windows. The thermostat can do its job, and we're gonna save a lot of money and a lot of energy on this electric bill. So if you're ready to make your home energy efficient, beautify your home, and more importantly, protect yourself from those upcoming hurricanes, give us a call, 954-951-8740. Or better yet, check us out on our website, usawindowsanddoors.com. Back to you, Alena.
Thanks, Mike. All right, so the big moment. I want to see what this looks like lit up. Can we check that out?
No problem.
All right. So beautiful. I absolutely love when you could enhance stone like this. I mean, what a great way to make not only your kitchen a showpiece, but just to kind of have that dual purpose. I feel like the stone feels completely different when it's lit up. It just
does.
changes.
And of
the
course
whole
at
look.
night, it's just beautiful.
The ambience of this at nighttime, you switch everything else off, but you leave the counter on. You've still got some light in here if you want to walk around, but it's not in your face. It's nice and soft.
Now, have you incorporated this anywhere else in the home? Do you have any other lit stone
Yeah.
elements?
Yes, we have it in quite a few places. Powder room, the whole back wall.
And all these things are things that come up. So in the beginning, a homeowner has a set of plans, and the architect maybe doesn't think of all of these little details. So throughout the process, us as the builders guide them and help them and show them these are all of your different options and things that you can do. And so throughout the job, really things are changing, maybe becoming more unique, more modern, and just adding their own touches to it.
Coming up next, we check out the latest trends in a modern spa bathroom on SoFlo Home Project.
SoFlo Home Project is sponsored in part by Eldorado Furniture. Looking to refresh your home? Visit us online at EldoradoFurniture.com or a showroom near you.
Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing to talk about all things when it comes to a modern home new build with Terry Patterson and Jessica Easterling of Patterson Project Management. So you guys, we were just in the kitchen area checking out all of the beautiful ways and the details that you've created a very modern aesthetic in the kitchen. But the primary bathroom in a home really becomes that other area that has to have all the bells and whistles, but you also want it to feel clean and contemporary. So in this space, first of all, let's talk about the design plan itself, the layout of the room, and a lot of the architectural features. Now, ceiling height too, super
Ceiling
high.
height's 14 feet.
Very spacious.
Glass is wall-to-wall glass, floor-to-ceiling glass. I'm trying to capture the great views, which gets tough in a master bathroom because you're often you're not presentable when you're in a bathroom.
Right, you want the privacy too, but you want to appreciate the view, and it's always that kind of figuring out that fine line of how much is
Yes.
too much window and how to make it private.
Correct. Push the button
Look at that.
and you can't see through.
I mean, this is awesome. I've seen this done in commercial spaces, but in a residential setting, so cool.
And the plus side with it, a lot of clients worry about, well, what happens if I have a power outage? Well, it's actually smoked when the power's off. It goes
I'd never
clear
knew
when
that.
the power's on. As with the theme in the rest of the house, we use big slabs on the floor, big slabs on the wall, full slabs, much as possible. 9-foot doors.
Everything kind of lives large in this space.
Yep, that's correct. You always have mirrors going across the entire vanity, and in this case, they did sort of a two-toned, half matte
Love
smoke
that.
and half a regular mirror to give it, and again, just a unique feature in a modern home.
So the shower looks amazing, and I want to talk about what's in here because it actually probably spans this whole space, correct?
That it does.
Correct.
So this shower is 2 entry doors. Once you get in, it's almost like its own space. It's not just the whole thing is not just for the shower. You walk in, it's its own room.
You can mix these materials and get this very high-end look, and there are advantages to really mixing them both, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And you find porcelain has become very popular because it's extremely durable. You don't have to keep it polished once a year like you would with marble.
So no maintenance.
And it can handle perfumes, it can handle spillage. Whereas a lot of the materials we used to use in bathrooms, you had to be really, really careful.
Now, we are going to talk about some really cool outdoor amenities. I know there's a lot of great things in a modern styling, and we will bring you to the outdoor spaces when we come back. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing to talk about building contemporary homes with Terry Patterson and Jessica Easterling of Patterson Project Management. So you guys, we're at I think the best part of our tour today, because outdoor spaces in South Florida, hands down, is really just the best. There are so many things that you can do, and in this particular home, you've done a lot. So I want to start with the covered terrace.
Yes, in these homes we like to bring the outside in and the inside out, both. Bringing the outside in, you see the big windows and glass, you feel like you're outside, but when you are in a bedroom and you have a patio, you want it to be a usable living room space, not just somewhere you can put one chair and barely fit a few people.
Right. I love it because it's almost like you just see this kind of great big unobstructed view, and it's such a pretty detail. Now I also want to talk about the floors, because we talk about seamless indoor-outdoor. The wood porcelain carries from inside to out, another big trend that we see being done.
First of all, by using the wood porcelain, you can carry it from the inside to the outside. If you've got wood inside, you have to change to when you bring it outside. The quality of porcelains these days are so amazing that sometimes you can barely tell the difference between porcelain wood and real wood.
Definitely.
One of the key things that we do is make sure that the lips of all the doors are the same level as all the floors. They have 2 3/4 inch rises that are required by hurricane code, and we don't want you to have to step over or have a tripping hazard on these lips. To be able to do that, we have to be thinking about this when building the shell. We have to be thinking about this when we're building the slab. Make sure you've got enough recesses, make sure you know what windows and doors are going in, what heights these lips are, because they vary from product to product, and recess it enough that by the time you put the floor in, it's going to be exactly level.
All right, so the upstairs terraces, we know this is stuff you're building in a lot of the homes, but in this particular home, downstairs, as we saw when we walked up, there is an amazing pool, but not only an amazing pool and spa, but there's also an incredible sunken kitchen. I mean, I have never seen this before. What a great feature.
Actually even sunken down to the same level as the pool. So the person in there grilling and serving and making cocktails from the outdoor kitchen is at the same level as the people sitting in the pool and the spa at the bar, and you're just all at the same party, hanging out, the same thing with the big TV over it, so pretty special.
Amazing feature, and it looks so beautiful together, but still so streamlined. A lot of people always ask, when should you build new versus remodel? And I was hoping, as general contractors, that you could weigh in on that.
If you are buying a house in South Florida, we have to build a house or do any renovations to a house or additions to the new FEMA codes. A lot of people think that builders are just pushing you to build a new house because it's easier. It's not. Half the time it's because your elevations don't meet the current codes.
This was really helpful advice, and I hope for viewers at home also very helpful for you sharing that.
Yeah.
So this has been a lot of fun, learning sort of the general contractor's perspective on building a modern home and a lot of the trends and things we're seeing. I've really enjoyed touring with you both and getting all sorts of great information. So I want to thank you for sharing the day with us and touring the home.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure, thank you.
It's fun.
And now let's take a look at what design inspiration we have for next week on SoFlo Home Project. The great thing about interior design is the freedom to infuse personality into your home. Join me as we tour a property that's been reimagined with a design that's truly outside the box. And before we go, let's check in with Hunter Franke, the host of SoFlo Health, and see what he's up to tomorrow. Hunter, what's going on?
Hey there, Alena. Tomorrow on SoFlo Health, I'm at a Mexican restaurant in Doral. Which one? Well, you have to watch and find out. But we're going to tell you how to eat Mexican cuisine and stay healthy in the process. Don't worry, it's actually pretty easy. We'll also visit a gym of a former MMA fighter who's becoming a hometown hero by bringing more opportunity to local athletes. And Deneva Zaman shows you healthy dishes for Ramadan. It's all right here at 12:30 p.m. on the one and only Local 10 for SoFlo Health tomorrow.
Thanks, Hunter. We'll definitely be watching. And to our viewers, we thank you for joining us this week. And we hope to see you again next week for another all-new episode of SoFlo Home Project right here on Local 10. And remember, there's no place like SoFlo Home. If you missed any part of this episode, or if you're looking for more design inspiration, make sure to check out all episodes online at SoFloShows.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram.